Volcano Madara being the first one to pick up a weapon, Fezaru not far behind with Fezaru on the bow to start off with. And like you were saying earlier, Fezaru not so much on the bow in that last set we saw from him. This is already like he's already doing like a major percentage of his bow gameplay in this game alone. He's gonna be swapping over to that hammer that we saw so much of earlier, and we're gonna see how it factors in against Volcano Madara's scythe.
Yeah, Volcano Madara definitely holding his ground with the scythe here. We saw Fezaru on the bow, like you said, doing most of his gameplay with bow for like the entirety of this tournament just there. But I mean, as soon as he pulls out the hammer, he becomes a completely different player.
Wait,
Almost
he
getting the
lived?
stock there.
He
And
lived?
somehow Volcano Madara makes it back. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think even Fezaru's shocked. I'm pretty sure he took his recovery like several different occasions. But Volcano Madara was like, nah, I'm gonna come back. And not only am I gonna come back, I'm gonna KO you. And not only am I gonna KO you, but I'm gonna start off with like a 4-hit scythery. And not only am I gonna do that, I'm gonna get another one. And I'm gonna get another one. And I'm gonna be edge guarding you. And I'm gonna be hitting you with a side sig as you try to make it back to the stage. And I'm gonna be picking up these gauntlets. And now I'm gonna be edge guarding you on the left side or right side of stage, trying to deny you from getting this and the other stock, but he is going to be getting that stock on Volcano Madara. Fezaru finally evening it up, but the extra credit that Volcano Madara was able to get is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I would definitely say that was kind of just a series of unfortunate events for Fezaru there. I mean, he had the hammer gimp going crazy, and then he just like lost his stock, and then he ended up on a fresh stock with bow in his hands, which is obviously you know, as we know, not his favorite weapon. So he just lost a bunch of damage there in that matchup. But here he's back on the hammer. I honestly think he can still bring this back, but the end light is going to be enough to take out his second stock, unfortunately.
Yeah, Volcano Madara just going back over to the side, try to repeat what he did just one stock ago. And I think he has a little bit more health to do it with as well. And he does get another side 3 to get in some good damage. Fezaru already in the orange.
Yeah, Volcano Madara's scythe is just so consistent. I mean, he just seems to know where these players are going to go. If not more than half of the time, at least, pretty much every time he gets a hit, he's able to get that dodge punish. Fezaru just letting him get the Enlight Ensig there, and yeah, it's not seeming too good here. I don't think he has enough to make it back yet.
Yeah, the weapon throw to force out his dodge, and then the immediate dare to deny him any chance of getting back to the stage. Volcano cleaning up that stock and getting that game 1 for his side. We're gonna be going into game 2, and Fezaru gonna be banning off the maps, leaving Miami Don't Open and then Small Terminus and Nishima Dojo. And if you know anything about how the maps favoritism is right now in terms of tournament legal maps, when your opponent bans one or leaves one map and then those 2 other maps open, Mishima Dojo and Small Terminus, you're basically saying, I'm going to force you to either play on the map I want to play on, or you're gonna have to play on triple platforms. And most players will just pick the map that they want to play on because triple platforms is not very fun to play on.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely dislike the triple platforms. They get in the way a lot of the time, and it also just allows certain players to play a little bit more passive. Volcano Madara almost taking a stock very early there, but he's still going. I mean, every time Fezaru has the bow in his hands, he's just not really able to do anything, and Volcano Madara is just taking advantage of it, keeping his opponent disarmed here with the weapon star, and he wants to close out this stock before Fezaru can get the hammer, but actually maybe not, because it means if he can close it out here, Fezaru will start out the next stock on bow. And almost catches the dodge there with the recovery, but it wasn't close enough. Gauntlet's Enlight also not going to be enough there. He really just needs one more hit in order to get the KO here, but Fezaru pretty much closing the damage lead on the hammer. Once again, we see that he's just a completely different player. It doesn't make sense.
don't fear the man that's practiced one kick or 1,000 kicks one time. Fear the man that has practiced 1,000 or one kick 1,000 times, and that is what Fezaru's hammer is. The kick that he has practiced 1,000 times. Who cares if he only practiced the bow for like 10 minutes in this warm up, and then like practice hammer for like 8 hours yesterday? It's working right now because he's got just the same amount of damage lead as Volcano Madara had in last game. Finally gonna be able to take that stock, even things up. But right now, Fezaru's about to pick up that hammer. And I feel like we're about to see something very dastardly happen. Sair into the D-Sig, trying to get this edge guard. Volcano Madara knocking him a little bit off the stage, trying to get an early KO possibly, perchance. Nothing yet. Sair's into the wall. He has nothing to make it back with.
Yeah. I also found it pretty interesting. As soon as Fezaru got the KO on Volcano Madara's first stock, it was at that point he switched to the bow, so that once he died, he would start off with hammer on his next stock. And I mean, I see what you're saying. As long as it works, it really doesn't matter if he's a one-trick on the hammer. We see him going for another gimp here. Volcano Madara losing control of his character, not really able to make it back there. Fezaru just had too much pressure, and tying up the set in game 2.
Yeah, sometimes you just get KO'd by the other player's aura, and it just is what it is. Ball up top. We're going to game 3.
And this time we're going to Small World's End. Volcano Madara definitely not wanting platforms. Pretty much just wanting to get to the action, which is understandable. I mean, I feel like if I'm Volcano Madara here, I just don't let Fezaru pick up hammer. And I think it's a free win. Like right here, I think as long as he can weapon starve as long as possible, don't let him pick up hammer, he's good. I mean, he's got him on the bow right now. Gets a little bit of an edge guard started, but I mean, Fezaru actually showing some decent resistance on the bow this time. Going hit for hit, keeping the damage even. Volcano Madara almost catching the dodge there, just a little bit too early. He gets hit by the ground pound, and Fezaru takes a stock with bow for the first time today.
Don't sound so shocked by this. Like, remember, this hammer might be what he's got here on, but there's a reason he has the bow in his hands. He's gonna be KO'd by Volcano Madara's gauntlet. But I feel like if he couldn't play the bow at all, he would definitely be playing another character. He might be playing Taros for those heavy hitting signatures. But no, he chose Yumiko. So there's clearly something there that he likes about the Yumiko specifically, and is willing to play bow over it.
That is true. I guess I need to show a little bit more respect. I mean, I was just not expecting him to get a KO with bow today at all. Wow, he goes for side light into ground pound to punish the dodge in. That is the hardest read I have ever seen. Almost gets the KO there. Fezaru might be dead here. He makes it back somehow. Volcano Madara trying to punish him getting back to stage. The D-Sig gets him in a position to where the Sair will hit, and Fezaru takes the lead in game 3.
Yeah. So Volcano Madara Sairs Fezaru off to the left side. Another side light, almost enough to KO, not quite yet. Trying to bait out a bad dodge, unable to do so. Throws the weapon, but it gets hit by the D-Sig, so it doesn't do anything. Gets the D-Sig of his own though, and now the stocks are even with only a slight damage disadvantage in Volcano Madara's corner.
Yeah. In orange here, Fezaru though getting the hammer.
So remember
string.
I said slight? Yeah, I might have lied because now he's almost in the red. Well, now he is in the red.
The Sair almost taking out Volcano Madara's stock pretty much as soon as Fezaru gets back, but he's able to keep it going here. I mean, Fezaru can't close out the game yet. Really all he needs is a D-Light Sair, and that should be it on Small World's End, but Volcano Madara trying to fight back.
Or you can just wake up side sig, roll out the bed, yawn, stretch, side sig, take game 3. Now you're up 2-1 in the set. Volcano Madara might be on his last 3 stocks of this tournament.
Yeah, Fezaru just showing us that like Yumiko is a character to be played. I really don't know that many Yumiko players. I mean, there's Flower, but other than that, nobody really touches this legend.
I mean, in NA, I know there's Bai Dino. I think he's got a pretty
That's fair.
solid Yumiko. Um, that's really about it. That's all I can think of off the dome. But here we go in game 4. Fezaru up 2-1 on Volcano Madara. And starting with the bow again. But Volcano Madara getting these side threes. Fezaru already in the orange. And if I'm Fezaru, I'm looking to pick up that hammer as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we saw something happen with the bow last game. It seems like Volcano Madara may have adapted here. Um, yeah, punishing that D-Sig pretty easily. Fezaru throwing the weapon as soon as he sees it spawn so he can get that hammer. And I mean, while he has a hammer in his hands, this damage difference really isn't much. Almost getting the D-Sig into Nair. Yeah, wow. Going for Sair into ground pound. Trying to punish another dodge in, but Volcano Madara not getting hit by that. The D-Light GCN Sig is enough on Small World's end to close out the first stock.
Yeah, Volcano Madara looking astronomically better in this game 4 than he was in game 3, and especially game 2 on Miami Dome. Top 10 things you don't want to do against Fezaru. Number 1, let him play hammer. Number 2, play him on Miami Dome. Number 3, get hit with that recovery. Good thing he dodged through it.
Yeah, Fezaru trying to close out this stock here on the hammer. Throwing out a lot of Sairs, not really getting the connections. The D-Sig into the Jitter Step. Going for that side Sig on the right side of the stage once again, but Volcano Madara not giving up this stock easily, getting as much damage as he can. Building up a lot of extra credit. He might just take a second stock here. Fezaru really needs to close this out. He's throwing out a lot of D-Sigs, but Volcano Madara is just weaving around them. Nothing's really able to connect, but he gets a little bit of a Russian Mafia there in order to close out Volcano Madara's first stock finally.
Yeah, but is it just a little bit too late? Because this damage differential is a very big thing to come over from, especially when you throw the hammer away. Your next weapon, I'm pretty sure, is the bow, unless you primed hammer earlier. But Volcano Madara is not even going to let you have that choice of picking up a weapon. Gets the weapon throw to force out Fezaru's dodge, and now Fezaru's stuck on the wall, almost wall slipping. Weapon throws through his D-Sig, still trying to get the KO without having to get too close to Fezaru's options, especially those D-Sigs, those Sairs, and especially that ground pound, because that can end a lot of stocks very early on. Volcano Madara getting the side light to put Fezaru on his final stock in game 4. But right now, remember, if Fezaru manages to take these 2 stocks without getting KO'd one more time, Volcano Madara is done for the day, because that will be the end of this set in a 3-1 victory. But right now, we're looking at a possible game 5.
I mean, yeah, as you said, these EU players, it seems like they really do just go game for game, and it's always down to a game 5, which is a lot more content for sure, and definitely much more entertaining. Fezaru almost punishing the dodge with the ground pound again. Volcano Madara weaving through that D-Sig. Wait, he might just be dead here. No, he's able to get back to stage and then get a little bit of a sight string started. Not giving up this stock for free either. Honestly, though, it's not looking too lost for Fezaru. He's able to take out that stock there, and he's only in orange.
Yep, as long as there's no stock difference, he still has a chance. Anything can literally happen. Gets a dare, recovery, goes for the Sair on to the right side of the stage. Good, thankfully for Volcano Madara, he went to the left. Recovery, not enough to KO. Another recovery. And Sig, he has nothing to make it back, and it's just like that, it's over. Volcano Madara is done for the day, as Fezaru is going to be moving on to fight in the losers semi-final later on.